Hey guys, welcome to part 6 of a FreeCAD tutorial series. Last time we went over just kind of the basic geometries here and what they are, what they do, that sort of thing, and how to modify them per se. But this time we're going to kind of take a step back. This is like purely 3D, or dealing with the 3D aspects of FreeCAD. By automatically generating 3D objects. Now we're going to kind of take a step and we're going to go work in Sketcher and then use these tools here to create an object to our liking. FreeCAD or Fillet and Chamfer, you're fairly familiar with those. If you've watched some of my previous videos, I'll go ahead and go over them one more time, especially Mirror in this as well. But without, let's get going. Let's move forward. So, if you don't know, this is how you access all your workbenches and how you access all your different tools. Go down and find your Sketcher workbench. Alright, so now all we have to do is, after we've gone to the Sketcher workbench, move to create a new sketch, that icon there. Once again, you can kind of choose your plane on. We'll just keep it in this plane, see why not. Kind of showcase some cool stuff here. So, let's just create a random object, kind of like we did before. We don't have to. We're not going to constrain it fully this time. We're just going to kind of go with the flow and make a kind of a random object again. So not too worried about making a fully constrained object. Alright, close. Sweet. Alright, so now that we're done in Sketcher, now let's go back to part. Alright, so we click on the sketch, we click on the sketch of interest, and we extrude that sketch. Now this is exactly like the pad, except we're going around a specific axis. So we take a look, we want to extrude in a direction. If we went Z, we'd be going vertically up, right? That wouldn't be very useful. If we went Y, we'd be going in that sideways direction. That wouldn't be very useful. So we want to go in the X. So along normal, obviously we want to create solids. I mean, I think we're in a 3D modeling program, but make sure you're creating that solid. And you can actually taper it out at an outward angle. I'll explain that a little bit. So that's good. You can actually, like this right here, this direction, you are extruding in a specific direction. Like I mentioned before, you were doing it like different vectors and stuff out of vector components. So we could extrude at the vector x1 or 110, and maybe we could even do 111 or 111.5 even. We'll just keep it straight in the x direction, and then I'll modify it like in the x to kind of show you what I'm talking about. So click apply. There we go. Let's go ahead and change that line color back over to like a black. That way you guys can see a little bit better here. Okay. Alright. Maybe even the points. It's a bit annoying. So here we go. That's our shape that we just extruded. Now, so we're just gonna look at that sketch again. We're gonna re-extrude. And then this time that's in the Z direction, but we're going the X and the Y direction. Oh, let's do something here. Forgot to do this. Alright, so got an X and Y. We want to go there, let's say 35 millimeters. See, now it kind of went in a unit vector. Very strange, but it worked out that way. If we wanted to move backwards a little bit there, and we wanted to do it at this vector, create a solid, we could do it in that direction. It's very cool how that works out. It's even a longer version of the same thing. But we'll go back to just having it at standard length here. So that's our part. That's the part we created here. Man, all these oddball parts I keep making, it's just you guys are probably halfway confused, like what's the point in all this? Well, just random stuff, really. It's just random parts. I'll go into like more sophisticated parts and how to do them later, but here we go. That's our very first one. Very cool, very nice. Um, so let's go ahead and get fillet and chamfer out of the way. So we want to create a chamfer. Maybe we won't even want to do it on a curved surface because we can do that. We want to do it by 2 millimeters. Alright, there we go. We did so. And then if we wanted to fillet it, we can select that and do that. 2.3 millimeters. Actually, if you hit Control and you can select multiple sides. And for say I'm doing this, selecting 3 different sides, and I just want a radius of 1 millimeter. You can also select them here. You can do that if you like. That's only if you want. So that's not exactly the complete geometry we would always want. So let's go ahead and make another sketch to explain this next part here. So we're gonna create a new sketch doing the XY plane, and so we'll do that. You can constrain it how you like. I'm just doing this as just a pure example. So we click on the sketch, should highlight green, and then you could revolve it. Now you can actually select which ones that you want to. So we're going to do that. I want to revolve that, and I'm going to go around the y-axis. And then user defined gets into this vector thing again, where you can actually revolve it around a specific vector if you choose to do so. I'm just going to do it around the y-axis because I kind of can see where this part's heading. You want to always create a solid. Once again, I can see where they want to do that, to put that option in, but then again, this is 3D modeling, so it's just one of those like user-defined things. So click OK. Boom, just created our part. You can kind of see how that revolve was working and stuff. But to really show you guys like mirror and stuff and how it's going to operate in space, it's probably best to create a new sketch. Do that across that XY plane again. Close. Go back to part design. I'm sorry. Click on the sketch. Create it in the Z. Length of 10 millimeters. Okay. And we want to select the specific one. We want to go across the XY plane. Just doubled it in like width right there. So those are those basic tools there. So revolve, mirror, chamfer, that stuff right there. Alright, thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.